Coming at you not live from an undisclosed location in Hesterville, Indiana. This is the DOXBYWOOD podcast.
But anyway, we were talking about your tattoo, your face tattoo.
Yeah, I got my daughter's name tattooed on my face.
Where'd you have it done?
Good buddy Josh did it. And the first thing I got from him is like, that does not look good. But I like the purposefulness of it.
No, yeah. I think it looks good. I think it looks like a logo. Like it's like, yeah, child writing, but it's like with a design, with an intent, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like some second grader just scribbled. It's not like, you know, your daughter did that tattoo on her own. Unless maybe she did, and that's why you're making up the story.
Yeah, no. I'm indoctrinating my daughter to be a tattoo artist.
That's like the opposite of what most parents do.
Yeah, I'm not over there like, you know, trying to get my daughter to go to Harvard. Only one of us on this podcast is a college graduate. And the other one has face tattoos.
So what's even the topic of today's podcast? I don't know what I'm doing here.
I was thinking I think recently we had a phone conversation about like the current state of film that I think would be a good thing to cover as filmmakers with a myriad of projects currently loaded into the gamma ray. I think the smartest thing we could do is
call me Bruce Banner.
I think the smartest thing we could do is shit on other filmmakers.
No, film is fucked forever because David Lynch is dead. So now it's like, what's even the point?
R.I.P. to a real one.
Yeah, like why even have the film industry anymore? Like why are we even doing what we do? Like,
Lynch is dead. Tarkovsky's dead. Cronenberg is dead.
Is Cronenberg dead?
No.
Oh.
Artistically.
I didn't know he died. Is Tarkovsky dead? I mean, I think he is, isn't he?
Yeah. Didn't he die right after making Stalker?
I don't know, but
I'm 99% sure he died right after making Stalker.
I don't know, but Stanley Kubrick died during
the moon landing.
Well, no, that's when he was replaced by the alien.
Oh yeah,
the Moon Man.
Yeah.
No, but he died during the making of Eyes Wide Shut.
Thank God he didn't have to see that thing.
Yeah, but if he would have stayed alive to see the whole thing through, it would have been better.
Debatable. You know, the only things that are keeping film alive are shitty Tubi movies and the guy who made Begotten.
But the thing is, like, Stanley Kubrick was an artsy filmmaker who could actually like walk into a studio and get a budget and get producers on board. You don't see a whole lot of that anymore. As a matter of fact, before David Lynch died, if I'm not mistaken, he was having a hard time financing a lot of projects.
Well,
or financing anything, really.
Before he died, he was in the process of making a Netflix movie.
What was it?
Netflix won't say, but he was in the process of doing another Netflix-only John like he did with What Did Jack Do?
Well, I knew about he was going to do that Wisteria, which people were saying it was going to be the new season of Twin Peaks, which maybe it was. I don't know, but Netflix backed out of that.
Yeah, no, Netflix put out a thing saying they were in the process of working with him on something, and then he died. Vincent Gallo, you know, he made one really good movie.
Yeah, but Lord knows he can't walk into like Disney or Marvel Studios or Paramount or anywhere. But
I think that's because of restraining orders.
Well, probably, yeah.
It's all thanks to him getting sucked off by Florence Pugh.
But you know, we're talking about the current state of film, and you know, let's say film and TV more broadly because they kind of lump into each other. So what does it say about David Lynch not being able to get a budget, despite the fact that he's got one of the greatest track records in the history of the business?
Yeah, I don't even like bringing up TV because I think the TV's been dead for a while. I feel like, in a way, streaming has killed the idea of television. And I think that streaming has also killed the quality control of television.
Oh, yeah.
What was the last good sitcom? It's Always Sunny.
The last good sitcom, I mean, depends on what you mean by good, depends on what you mean by sitcom. I mean, Trailer Park Boys.
But that wasn't the last one. I mean, that came out before.
I don't know. Well, yeah, but I don't really care for It's Always Sunny. It's a classic, I mean, you know, but there are other classics that have...
It's Seinfeld for people who dabble in drugs.
Okay.
Fucking... I think one of the biggest problems...
My pharmacist prefers Seinfeld, but go ahead.
I said dabble in drugs, not flirt with people while giving them amoxicillin.
I'm sure there are some pharmacists who do that, but that's... I don't think that's a generalization or stereotype that most pharmacists fall into. I could be wrong about that.
I mean, I don't know. But what I will say is, what in the fuck is going on with the film scene? Because, like, I remember back when, like, being a goober dick in the film scene, you were like, oh yes, I do quite enjoy Eraserhead. Like, you know, you talked about, like, good movies that were artistic because the people who made them were.
What, like me specifically? Or
no, I mean, like, the film scene,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
You know, like, people talked about, like, Eraserhead and Begotten, movies that were artistically sound.
Yeah, I talked about Eraserhead and you talked about Begotten.
Fucking... We're talking about
we walk the walk. We can talk the shit.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen Begotten so many times that it's burnt into my corneas.
He's seen Begotten so many times it no longer gets him off.
Fucking, that's shit we can't tell the world, man. But no, like, it went from being like Begotten and Eraserhead and like these actual like low key masterpieces to being people talking about the next Robert Eggers crying on camera movie.
Like, Robert Eggers crying on camera? Has he ever cried on camera?
Probably. I mean, I'm sure he's crying behind the camera. Like, I mean, all of his films, like, there's some artistic integrity, I guess. But people really blow the, like, Robert Eggers, Ari Aster people, like, I would say, like, blow them up, but they just blow them.
I like The Witch. I liked The Lighthouse. I didn't see The Northman. That's what that was called, right?
Yeah, I did see The Northman, and I don't know how they managed to make a movie about Vikings that fucking boring.
I'll say this. Nosferatu was a fucking joke.
I have not yet seen Nosferatu.
You don't need to. It's basically, okay, let's see how many times we can put Lily Rose Depp's tits on screen. And it's overly, like, sexual in ways that it really doesn't need to be.
Well, so is The Northman. Like, there was much more Viking orgy than you know, any pillaging going on.
Yeah, like I found more entertainment out of watching Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson making out, dude.
The Lighthouse.
Like, they were going for each other's dinglehopper in that movie. That was the shit.
Put up a dinglehopper counter.
It was black and white.
The Lighthouse was, in my opinion, the only thing Robert Eggers did that didn't make me want to stop watching the movie to go do something more enjoyable, like carving a mermaid out of soap. The Witch was okay, but I couldn't get past the dad, who sounded like the substitute driving instructor from that episode of SpongeBob. You know what I'm talking about? The super military shark that was like, "No eating in my class." That's how the dad and the witch sounded the whole time. And he was like wearing a bath curtain.
He sounded
chopping wood.
He sounded just like that for sure.
Yeah. You're telling me my daughter has been fucking witched.
I couldn't remember the way that either of those characters sounded until you said that. Until you started doing that impression.
Yeah, they sound like Captain Price with laryngitis. My daughter's been fucking witched by a saggy old lady in the fucking woods. I bruv in it with me fucking beans on toast. I'm fucking British, fucking bitch. Like, after 2 hours of that, I didn't like the movie anymore.
Man, have you seen the modern, like, redesign, Robert Eggers' redesign of Count Orlok?
Yes.
They gave him a giant-ass Lorax mustache.
It looks like my granddad.
It looks like my old chemistry teacher. But, yeah, it's like, I get why they did that. It's like, oh, yeah, it'd make him look more like a nobleman of the era, whatever. But I think that Count Orlok's look is what makes him Nosferatu. I think that Nosferatu is an iconic image, and by changing it, you know, it's not that I disrespect them for trying to do something different. It's just I disagree with the decision. Frankly, that's not even what killed the movie for me. That's just like one of the big things that stands out.
Count Orlok's design is very intentionally inhumanly human.
Yeah.
Like, it's uncanny because on one side of things he looks like a fucking goblin, and on the other side of things he's still humanoid.
Yeah.
And I think that's what made the character. By making Count Orlok just a tall dude with a Fu Manchu is not exactly cutting edge. But we live in a time where, like, nobody actually watches anything artistic.
You've heard of Yosemite Sam, but that was Nosemite Sam.
I'm actually going to send this podcast to a psychiatrist, and all I'm saying is watch your mailbox.
I'll send it to mine.
I thought they had a restraining order against you after the last incident.
No, they'll be like, oh yeah, that Vigo guy's a bad influence on you, talking about dingle hoppers and lighthouses.
Yeah, what did we tell you about coping with your childhood by hanging out with tall guys with face tattoos?
I don't know. My exes do it.
Damn. But what I will tell you is we live in a time period where now the art guys are like Eggers and fucking Ari Aster. And let me just say something for the record. The next time someone tells me how much they love Hereditary, I am going to develop an illness. Like, I'm going to get the flu just from them telling me that. No disease needed. Because, like, Hereditary, the first watch, I was like, okay, I get it. But then after everyone acting like it was the second coming of Christ.
I liked it a lot, but then I agree with you. Like, everybody talking about it kind of just, you know,
and that's not like
burnt me out. That's not
like the hipster in me being like, oh, it's too mainstream, everybody likes it. No, it's just like, it's not good enough to have every woman who's ever bought Manic Panic hair dye talking about how great it is. I don't think that has earned it.
Well, I don't even know that. I mean, I just kind of think that all the film bros we know who think that that's like the end all be all of horror. It's like Ari Aster and Robert Eggers are two
of the four horsemen of the death of film.
Yeah, perhaps, and we're the other two.
Oh no.
That's exactly what I was trying to say.
Then there's five horsemen because the guy who made fucking Skin of
But after those two became A24 staples for a while, people thought that A24 was the epitome of indie film, and it's not.
Yeah.
A24 is not indie. Like, do they give the filmmakers more creative freedom? Like, from what I've heard, sure they do. But they're not indie. Like, they're working with major investors and companies to get their stuff done.
If your film has a $22 million budget and a marketing team, it's not fucking indie.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like being like, oh yeah, McDonald's McCafe is my favorite artisanal coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, what we do is indie. We might be more indie than indie.
That would be like
we might be outdy.
That'd be like us saying the Busch Light we're drinking is small batch craft beer. Fucking shout out to Busch Light.
Please sponsor us.
Literally any beer company, please sponsor us. You don't understand how much we've lost.
What's the parent company? Anheuser-Busch?
Yeah.
Anheuser. What is it? Is it Anheuser? I don't know.
Yeah. Anheuser. I've heard both Anheuser and Anheuser. I think it just depends on how close you are to Michigan.
I don't know anything about Michigan, dude.
But
other than the magnificent short film, shout out, Possibly in Michigan, created by
I forgot her name.
I forgot her name too.
Didn't I turn you on to that?
Yeah.
Banger.
Cecilia Condit.
Yeah.
She's got some other really, really good ones too.
Shout out Salami Conduit.
If you want to be interviewed by us, Salami Conduit, please.
Yeah.
Please. Love to meet you. Learn all about Possibly in Michigan. I don't know anything about Michigan. And this guy can't tell me anything about Michigan other than Detroit.
Yeah, because Detroit Red Wings need to win a fucking
That's all he
Stanley
talks
Cup.
about is Detroit Red Wings. I said, Vigo, I already have my Red Wings. I don't need to go to Detroit to get any special ones. But Cecilia Condit, www.DOXBYFilms.com, get a hold of us.
But what's that other Ari Aster fucking bopper flopper?
MIDSOMMAR.
Yeah, dude. Make sweet and scary. Fucking that shit was ass.
Like, when I think about movies, okay, especially movies that I find to be overrated, because I do think Hereditary, despite the fact that I like it a lot, is overrated.
It's got quality.
Even though I think it's overrated, I do like it a lot. MIDSOMMAR, I thought was like fine, like 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10. I don't know.
I'd give it a 4.
I'd like it more if we didn't already have The Wicker Man. But, I do think that it's overrated, but, it's hard for me to get over how overrated that one is, MIDSOMMAR. Like, it literally makes me like it less.
MIDSOMMAR is The Wicker Man for broad ripple indie people.
Yeah. MIDSOMMAR is The Wicker Man for women who drink White Claw.
MIDSOMMAR is The Wicker Man for men who drink hazy IPAs. MIDSOMMAR is Wicker Man for finance bros.
Why are finance bros even looking for shit like that?
Because they do. They think that they're
no, because it's got occult aspects to it, and they're trying to do the whole law of attraction thing.
Yeah, the only thing a finance bro knows about the law of attraction is what date rape drugs to buy before he goes to Savages.
Shout out to Savages.
Shout out to Savages in Muncie. I think I still have an open tab there. Fucking
damn.
By Kendrick Lamar. You know what? The fucking offshoot. Big Kendrick Lamar fan, but I don't care. GNX is ass. All these people acting like GNX is another Kendrick Lamar bopper, start to finish, have a fucking vitamin deficiency. Because what are you fucking on about? I'm sorry, it is the most kindergarten booble bop bullshit I've ever heard. Like the idea that the guy who just made Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers and To Pimp a Butterfly made GNX haunts me when I sleep at night.
Yeah, dude, I wouldn't know anything about how to pimp a butterfly.
Only girls with butterfly tattoos. Brandon Townsend is a pimp. He dresses like the guy from the end of Taxi Driver and fucking...
The guy from the end of Taxi Driver?
Yeah,
you mean Travis Bickle?
No, the pimp from the end. You know that he goes in there to fucking shoot.
I do not dress like
stupid ass.
I do not dress like that at all. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm wearing pajamas right now.
You guys don't see Brandon Townsend on his work vacation, walking through the streets of Richmond, Indiana, dressed like the pimp from Taxi Driver, smoking prop cigarettes and drinking soy sauce.
Well, yeah, dude, I don't want to develop a nicotine addiction.
Oh, sitting on your high horse. That horse is high as fuck. That horse may even perhaps be contributing to the opioid epidemic. That horse is so high.
I don't own a horse.
I did own a horse. I did not send him to a glue factory. I sold him at a livestock auction before anybody gets mad.
Well, that doesn't rule out the possibility that he was eventually sent to a glue factory.
I sold a horse that had only ever had Russian spoke to it to a young white girl. She's probably like 12, and her dad was like, "I'm going to get you a horse, sweetie." I'm like, "You better get her fucking Rosetta Stone."
Yeah, so I have an idea of something that, like, we need to work on. Like, we need to patent.
Okay.
So, you know how tires are made of rubber?
Tigers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
I have 4 of those on my car.
Well, you know how they're made of rubber.
Yes.
Well, the rubber deflates, and the roads are made of pavement. And regardless of what happens, eventually your tires are going to wear out and deflate. So what I'm thinking is what we actually need to do is start building roads out of rubber and building tires out of cement. That way the tires can't deflate because they're made of cement.
How about I wear a rubber and fill it with semen? I can't do that.
If that's what you want to do.
I'm allergic to latex.
I mean, if that's what you want to do, like jack off with a condom, some people do that.
Watching an Ari Aster film feels like jacking off with a condom. Except for that one movie. I don't want to think about jacking off and talk about Ari Aster. You know what I'm talking about, right? What's that? Something's weird about the Johnsons. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Last thing I want to talk about is jacking off an Ari Aster.
What was that called? There's something strange about the Johnsons.
Yeah, I think that was it.
What was that movie he's doing with Joaquin Phoenix?
What, Beau is Afraid? Did Ari Aster do that? Beau is Afraid?
No, it was called something else. Let me see. Ari Aster walking penis movie. I'm Googling this right now. Eddington?
Oh, who did Beau is Afraid? Oh, I don't know why that came to my head.
Yeah, no, Beau is Afraid was Ari Aster. So what the hell is Eddington?
That's what I thought. I did not watch Beau is Afraid. I'm already a hypochondriac that thinks I'm terminally ill every time that I have a mild head cold. The last thing I want to watch is a movie about death.
Well, I haven't either, but apparently they're doing another one called Eddington, and that graphic looks like ass, but
yeah.
Oh, I don't think that was for the actual film, though.
I don't know, man.
Okay, so yeah, Ari Aster directed Beau is Afraid with Joaquin Phoenix, and he's also doing Eddington with Joaquin Phoenix. Coming soon.
Joaquin Phoenix is Nick Cage for girls who drink White Claw.
Look at this graphic. It's like, babe, can you check and see if my piercing's infected?
It looks like a guy that's like reluctantly about to give a woman top.
What I'm saying here is, we make tires out of concrete.
Yep.
And we have the roads are made of rubber. The roads aren't going to deflate. They're roads. You ever seen a road deflate?
Yes.
When?
Shout out the Kentucky sinkhole.
Well, yeah, sinkholes and shit like that. But like, imagine like rubber on a sinkhole. It's going to hold up better because it's elastic. It's stretchy because it's rubber.
Shit right there is like rubber on a sinkhole.
Well, that's exactly what I was thinking. But what we do is, instead of cement, we use rubber for the roads. We need to patent this. Because you can't deflate a cement tire. Like, why do we even make tires out of rubber anyway? Like, why do you have to blow up a tire? Why can't you make it out of something that's not going to deflate? Like wood. Or
wood
bone.
Tire. So you think we should go back to like the invention of the fucking wheel and have wood tires? Could you imagine my BMW with wood tires?
I'm not saying we reinvent the wheel. I'm just saying we invent it the right way.
You know, how do people come in socks? You know, like my cum would go straight through a sock.
I don't know, dude. Like, I'd be kind of turned off by it.
Yeah, you're more interested in what the sock goes on.
Well, no.
Oh.
I'm not a foot guy.
No, you're a film guy. You know who else is a film guy?
Quentin Tarantino.
Okay. Feet.
That's it. That's the joke.
That's the podcast. Today's podcast is about feet.
Look, here's a concept. We take Black Sabbath and we make Jack Black the vocalist.
Fucking please help me. I hate Jack Black.
He'd be able to do it. He sounds like Ozzy, but more hilarious.
I don't want to hear Jack Black Sabbath.
I want to jack all of Black Sabbath.
Look out, Tony Iommi.
Tony, you owe me.
Tony. Fucking, I've been rewatching.
I don't care how many fingers you're missing.
Jesus. He's only missing the tips, just the tips.
Oh, dude, same.
Speaking of Tony, I've been rewatching The Sopranos.
Oh, yeah? What's that like?
Confusing.
I've never seen it all the way through.
I've seen it all the way through maybe twice. And why does James Gandolfini develop an Italian accent?
I don't know, but there are a lot of TV shows that you can binge watch on streaming services like that. Like, for example, The Sopranos or Breaking Bad, you know, classics, like with really good stories, characters, yada, yada. But they came out before streaming was a big thing. And honestly, you'd be hard-pressed to find a TV show that is as bingeable as either of those that have come out since the medium of streaming has taken over.
I think that they kind of already had the binge watching market cornered before streaming. Because, like, they were like DVD box set shows. Like, you'd buy all the DVDs and binge watch them that way. So I think they've always been very bingeable. And I think that their iconography will never be shaken.
Yeah.
Like, you're never going to make something more iconic than The Sopranos or Breaking Bad. And I think that society knows that enough that it's always going to be watched. Because, like, you can make a new good show, right?
Yeah.
There's thousands of them. But some things are so iconic you can't do it again. Like, there'll never be another movie like Eraserhead. That's why it's
Right.
still in the zeitgeist. And I think that Breaking Bad and
Oh, imagine if they remake Eraserhead.
The Sopranos will forever be in the zeitgeist just because there's never going to be something like that again. Because the only way to create something like Breaking Bad or like The Sopranos is to just rip it off.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see, like, The Sopranos, the way they develop the characters in The Sopranos, I think, makes it a one of one. Because they're not just like one note, you fucking talking to me type guys. Like, it's not
Right.
Scorsese type shit. It's not just like, yeah, I'm a big fucking scary mobster. Fucking, I'm gonna chop off your nuts and balls and put it in the fucking yoki, you moke. You know?
Joe
like,
Pesci.
yeah. Well, funny how? Funny like a fucking clown or something? Like, it's not like that. Like, they have, like, you know, they're delved into. Like, Paulie being a hypochondriac and fucking Tony Soprano fucking his therapist in the ass. You know? Like, it's not like, it feels more like the story of a broken man who happens to be in the mob than it feels like a story about the mob. Because all the characters, like fucking Chrissy's fucking drug addiction and shit, and you know, killing a guy for being gay. You know, like the show covered topics and had characters that were much deeper fleshed out than any mob movie has ever had Robert De Niro do before.
Yeah.
You know, because even in like the smart Robert De Niro movie, Taxi Driver, Travis Bickle's still a fucking one-note character. Just instead of being a one-note mobster, he's a one-note incel. But it's I hate mob movies. Like, you know, I don't want to watch the fucking Godfather and have Marlon Brando talking about fucking, look, I massacred my balls. Like, I can't do that shit.
Yeah.
And I can't do.
I think there are some good mob movies. My favorite would probably be like The Untouchables.
Like, I'd rather have my fingernails.
With Robert De Niro, I guess. He played Al Capone.
Yeah, but that's a little different.
Yeah.
I'd rather have my fingernails pulled out than have to sit through Casino again.
I like Casino.
Joe Pesci
I like
makes me want to
Casino
light
more than
myself on fire.
Goodfellas.
Yeah, but Goodfellas is like a substandard fucking film. Could you imagine if Scorsese did did fucking Reservoir Dogs? Could you imagine how horrible that would be? Yeah, I'm fucking.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
I'm fucking Mr. Pink, motherfucker.
No, I gotta say, I mean, I like Goodfellas. I don't love it, but I mean, I like it. My thing with Goodfellas is just that so many Scorsese movies that came after that just followed the same formula, like the same pacing, the same like editing patterns and everything. Like The Irishman, I thought The Irishman was just the Goodfellas 2.0, like Goodfellas but worse.
Yeah.
Like, I know they're different stories, but
The Irishman is Les Mis for middle-aged white guys that have Italian-American bumper stickers on their Jeep Wrangler.
yeah, I was gonna say that exact same sentence.
Like, dudes that use way too
But
much
I was
hair
gonna say
gel.
Jeep Cherokee.
They don't drive Jeep Cherokees because they think that it's metrosexual. Fucking 4 doors? I'm fucking Italian. I'm a fucking Teamster. I'm Union 1, you fucking dickhead. I ain't fucking driving something with 4 doors. Like, you know, that's how they be getting up to.
That's probably exactly how they sound.
You know. I remember...
They probably dream about being at barber shops and shit.
There was an Italian-American guy who... did you ever go to Gino's in Muncie on the south side?
No, what is that?
It was an Italian joint.
Okay.
There's a Italian-American guy who worked there, and, like, I'm pretty sure was, like, up to no good. But that's how he always was. He was like horribly racist and homophobic, and just like thought everything. Like he found out what metrosexual was, and every time you go in there to grab like a pie, he'd be all like, "I ain't fucking doing that shit. I look metrosexual to you. I wake up every day. I spend 30 minutes doing my hair, and I put on my best velour jogging suit. And you think for a fucking second I'm some kind of metrosexual?"
It's like Rodney Dangerfield as a mobster.
like it was when Teslas were like first coming out, and he was like, "Fucking, you think I want to drive a fucking car? I gotta plug into the wall like a fucking Tinker Toy? What do you fucking take me for, a Metro or something?"
He's like one of the mob dudes that own a pawn shop and like doesn't know that he's got mob connections, but you walk in and he's talking like that.
No, he's like the guy that wants you to think he has mob connections, but he's got like he lives with his parents, but he still has like 3 kids that he's not taking care of actively.
Nice.
But that's how he was. He was all like, "Fucking, you want me to go watch a fucking movie in the theater with a bunch of dudes? What do you take me for, some kind of Metro or something? You think I want to sit down and watch MIDSOMMAR with you fucks?" He's one of those guys, just like one of those dudes that's very stuck in their ways. And like you go in there and he'd be like, "Let me fucking tell you something, buddy."
Yeah, but we've got MIDSOMMAR, we've got the whole Ari Aster scene, the Robert Eggers scene, all that. But on the other side of things, we've got Marvel, which I guess is kind of going downhill.
Captain America, where's Captain Italian America, eh? He's got a star on his wife beater, yeah.
I mean, those are the real questions that we need to be asking, if you ask me. I think the Fantastic Four movie looks promising.
Dude, after what they did to Taskmaster, I realized at that moment that I would rather go to the theaters and have to pay to watch a fucking how-to on painting a fence than watch a fucking Marvel movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll watch the new Fantastic Four for sure.
The MCU is very...
Dead.
It's a fucking cancer. It'll be back. Like the Marvel movie thing, like nerd movies have always been... They've always had a place. But I think the problem is when you lose the subculture. When you got fucking accountants listening to punk rock, people say punk is dead. But when you've got like Taylor Swift fans showing up to Snail Trail over a dude in blue spandex throwing a fucking plate around, you got a problem. Like you can't have...
superheroes aren't just for nerds anymore.
And that's the fucking problem. That's the issue. That's the problem, because you're not making anyone happy if superheroes aren't for nerds anymore. Because you got to look at it this way. Then you just have like the Fast and Furious audience watching your movies. And it's not hitting the target demographic. And then it allows the movie studios to retcon shit. And then some dude who's 43 and has never seen a vagina in person starts going, "Yeah, well, did you know in Earth 63, Spider-Man isn't circumcised? And in this movie, they changed it by having a circumcised actor play Peter Parker. I'm not going to see this garbage movie. Did you hear that they made Felicity Bing Bong a Mexican? Oh my God, I'm gonna pee and poop my pants. Oh my God, this doesn't follow the comics at all." And then the whole audience is just like 33-year-old dudes getting off their fucking Starbucks job. Like, man, I gotta say, I'm a big fan of the MCU. And it's like, that's fucking dumb. That's stupid. Like, make nerd movies for fucking nerds. Make art movies for artists. And make fucking lame movies for lame-os. You know what I mean? Like, all of the women that were, like, watching, like, fucking 1,000 First Dates or whatever the fuck that shitty piece of garbage is called, are now watching fucking, Yeah, me and the girls are going out to see Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Like, cats are fucking dogs and it's rain and piss. The end is fucking nigh. Hellfire and brimstone. This is the end. When film no longer has its fucking area to exist, there is a problem. And for every problem, there's an idiot on a computer in Wichita, Kansas, blaming it on a woke, a liberal agenda. Like, there's some guy out there right now going, I don't like Skinamarink because it's too woke. Like, you know, fucking, I hate Skinamarink because it's a piece of shit and I don't want to watch a 2-hour movie with the camera pointed at a corner. But in every corner now, because movies have homogenized, which I don't agree with, call me a gatekeeper, because movies have homogenized, you've got random Joes sitting there going, yeah, I jacked off the 3 pictures of Robert Eggers before breakfast. Skinamarink's too woke for me.
Only 3?
There's only 3 pictures of the guy that exists. He came out and he was all like, the idea of filming a car or a cell phone, which you would have to do to make a modern movie, absolutely makes me sick. And I'd never do it because it makes me sick. And I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Does he actually sound like that?
Probably. Like, if you're a neo-Luddite, go be a fucking neo-Luddite. Like, don't just fucking cry on camera. It's like, shut the fuck up. If you want to cry on camera, go be involved in Wicked. Fucking Ariana Grande and fucking everybody in that movie is just like sobbing every time they're on camera. They act like they survived a natural disaster.
Yeah. Yeah.
On
the topic of Marvel, like, I really just want to get something from Marvel where Spider-Man is an adult, like an adult, not a fucking teenager, because, you know, in the comics, a lot of his greatest stories came like after he was in college, after he graduated college, after he married Mary Jane.
What was the one where his cum gave Mary Jane cancer?
And that wasn't one of the great ones, but
we'll make that a movie.
That was like I don't think that's canon. I think that's some Elseworld shit or whatever you want to call it. Oh, what if? I think. Maybe. I don't know.
You've had too much pussy to be talking about Spider-Man. Nerd movies for nerds, Townsend.
No, dude. They just need to give Spider-Man some balls.
They need to...
Like, dude, whenever you're playing Spider-Man for the PS1, or you're watching the 90s Spider-Man animated series, are you picturing Tom Holland in those roles?
When you said playing Spider-Man, I thought you just meant like pretend in your living room. Fucking, when you're playing Spider-Man in your living room, do you think you're Tom Holland?
Yeah. The amount of times that you've been cast to play Spider-Man in the numerous Marvel fan films you've been in.
Could you imagine a Viggo
Johnson is objectively the best Spider-Man.
Just 6'8", out of shape Eastern European Spider-Man.
And as a matter of fact, anybody who wants to create that Photoshop, we'll give him a shout out.
Yeah, I'll give you a shout out in the fucking court hearing when I sue you for defamation.
Well, I give you permission to do it.
And seeing as Brandon bought me at an auction. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Now, me as Spider-Man would be a horrifying thing. Fucking my 6'8", 300-pound ass fucking swinging.
You as Man Spider.
Fucking me swinging, but instead of New York, it's Detroit. Every time I swing from a building, it falls apart.
Spider Vigo versus Eminem.
Fuck. Yeah, but
rap battle of the century.
Instead of a rap battle, we won one on a hockey game. Fucking.
You just slap box.
Dude. Yeah,
slap box him with Shady.
Fucking cursed Marvel casting. Fred Durst is Craven.
Fred Durst would be a better Craven than whoever the hell that was.
The guy from Kick-Ass?
Is that who that was?
Yeah, it's a guy from Kick-Ass.
Well, dude, honestly, I've never seen either of the Kick-Ass movies. Like, which one? Like, what character?
Kick-Ass.
Okay, so that was Kick-Ass that played Craven?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Nick Cage is John Jonah Jameson. You serious?
But Nick Cage as John, like the character, like they just switch lives.
No, I mean like a casting.
Nick Cage as
Nick,
as J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah,
is what you said.
Yeah, Nick Cage.
I'm like Nick Cage. I thought Nick Cage. I'm thinking Nick Fury. Jesus Christ,
dude. I'm
okay.
You had me confused. Though.
No, that's because I'm thinking Nick Fury and Luke Cage combined together for some reason. So like my brain went to Nick Fury. Yeah. So I'm thinking, what are you talking about? Like Nick Fury and J. Jonah Jameson just like switch?
Sorry,
like
Nicholas Coppola. Is that better? Vincent Gallo is Spider-Man. We swing on webs and we span time.
Vincent Gallo as Carnage would actually be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like imagine him playing Cletus Cassidy, but he's just himself.
Yeah. We sit in prison and we span time. We don't touch each other. We don't drop the soap and we span time. We're two prisoners spanning time together. And we love each other very much.
Can you span time in prison without dropping soap?
Don't bathe.
I don't know.
Gangrene. Fucking Timothy Chalamet. Timothy Chalamet is the Green Goblin.
Now someone's gonna be all like, "Oh, we need to get Timothy Chalamet to play Harry Osborn," and they're actually gonna do it.
Yeah, Timothy Chalamet is Harry Assballs in the new Spider-Man movie.
Somebody needs to make Michael Shannon Norman Osborn, because Michael Shannon in The Shape of Water looks exactly like Norman Osborn in the comic books.
Bill Skarsgård as Electro.
Bill Skarsgård as Elektra. That's what I thought you were going to say.
Idris Elba as a Daredevil.
What about Queen Latifah as Black Cat?
Queen Latifah as Aunt May.
Tyler Perry as Black Cat.
50 Cent as Aunt May. No, 50 Cent as Uncle Ben. And Queen Latifah as Aunt May. Because in 50 Cent, he's already been shot 9 times. He would survive.
Yeah, he would survive. That would just ruin the whole origin of Spider-Man.
With great power comes albums.
So this is our fan casting. We've got Queen Latifah as Aunt May.
Yep.
As Uncle Ben, we've got 50 Cent.
Yep, Curtis Jackson.
Okay, who the fuck is playing Spider-Man? Tobey Maguire?
No. Jaden Smith. Jaden Smith is Spider-Man.
No.
Yeah.
There's probably already like a...
Timothy Chalamet is Green Goblin. Vincent Gallo is Carnage.
These are terrible ideas.
Anya Taylor-Joy is Venom.
I mean, she would be a hot Venom.
Then we get Willem Dafoe.
She Venom.
Shinnem. Then we get
Shinnamarink.
No. I don't know why I said no like that. We get Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe is the Punisher. Robert Pattinson as who's the fucking who's the Rhino guy?
Rhino?
Is it just Rhino?
Yeah.
Wow, how creative.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get Robert Pattinson to play Rhino.
You get Gene Simmons to play Doc Ock.
Michael Fassbender as the lizard guy.
No, Mike Myers as the lizard.
Mike Myers as Black Cat. We get male
Black Cat in the Hat.
We get we get male Black Cat and female Venom. We're getting funded.
I've had some female Venom.
Welcome to the DOXBYWOOD podcast.
Yeah, dude.
We get Chris Pine to play Mary Jane. But it's Chris Pine from Hell or High Water. Like a mustache and he's all sweaty.
What about the Avengers? I say we get Kevin James as the Hulk.
That's a good one. Adam Sandler is Iron Man.
Lindsay Lohan is Black Widow.
Chris Rock is Hawkeye.
Thor.
Oh, that's easy.
Taylor Hanson.
No. Thor, played by Ray Romano.
Thor, played by Ray J.
Fuck. Christ. I can't get over that one. That's bad.
Yeah.
I can. Thor, played by.
Put the hammer down on Kim Kardashian.
Fucking shit. Yeah, man, he's wearing Raycons the whole movie.
Kanye West as Nick Fury.
Thanos, played by Mike Myers.
Thanos, played by Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez, played by Mike Myers.
Spider-Man, played by Cher.
The Hulk, played by Madonna. Timothy Chalamet as Lee Harvey Oswald. And Tom Holland as JFK.
Tom Holland as JFK. Yeah, that's all we need. Give Hollywood that idea. So we should probably wrap this one up. Is there anything you want to say before we sign off?
All right. Thank you for listening to the first episode of the DOXBYWOOD podcast. For a closer, I'm going to suggest everyone sell me your BMWs below market price. I need another one.
This podcast has been sponsored by Dingle Hoppers. You better start stocking up on them now, because when shit hits the fan, they're not going to be around. And you know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? So stock up right now. This is Brandon Townsend signing off.
Rubber roads, take me home.